let's just get straight to it. I mean, yesterday, I'm sure you watched all of it or some of the vetting of the acting Chief Justice, the Chief Justice nominee, Justice Baffoe-Bonnie. The minority staged a walkout, and they, among other things, say that they left because some constitutional breaches have been occasioned by going ahead to vet this Chief Justice. What's your assessment of that statement? And do you agree with their legal basis for walking out?
Not really. I don't think I mean, as you're saying, do I agree with the basis? Yes, I don't agree at all, because I think following what happened, they should have, continued, because if they had continued in the workings or in the work the appointment committee was scheduled to do, they would have enriched let me call it a debate, because their questions would have brought diversity, their questions would have explored other angles, their questions would have brought more out of the Chief Justice, you see it. So to say, because they were not allowed to say Tokonu was removed unfairly and the rest, they would not participate. For now, I don't think that's enough. Because I like, you see, there was a statement Mahama Yarga made, majority leader. He said, look, they are allowed after this appointment committee sitting or after this vetting to go out there and hold a press conference and say all the things that they wanted to say. Saying that Tokonu's removal is unfair, is illegal, is a travesty of justice. Those things they wanted to say. They're just saying that don't say them right here as part of the vetting process, because when you do, they infringe certain parts of the standing orders. But you are free to go and organize a press conference. And they what do you call it? The minority had organized a number of press conferences where they had made these statements. So their point has been well made. So, I stand to be corrected, but I'm still struggling to see what extra points it would have made that they would use the vetting committee sitting or use the vetting itself as another opportunity to repeat all of those. If it were that, there is no other opportunity to say those things, or even before the vetting, they had never had a chance to say those things, then you would understand why they would want to say those things at the vetting. It's like, this is my first and last opportunity. If it were the first and last opportunity, then I would understand. But this is not the case. They've made their points several times. They've had a number of press conferences. Come on. They've even had demonstrations, right? Yes, there was even a demonstration. All those things, right? So I think they should have stayed. They should have stayed. Because, yeah.
Okay, they should have stayed. Do you think that, are there any implications of this walkout on the independence of the judiciary? Because one of the comments that was made is the fact that this vetting, or the vetting that took place, the way it took place without the presence of the minority side, has implications on the independence of the judiciary. Do you agree?
Let me see. On the face of it, it's difficult to see how that... Okay, so, this is what you say. There may be something in terms of the optics, yes. So it's just the optics, but not substantially. So that's procedural. In terms of procedure, it means that the Chief Justice comes into office with the tag that, the minority didn't support his appointment. Yes, so that's it. So it's only in terms of optics. Like, if you read History is Written Tomorrow, they say, the minority walked out because they thought the situation was so bad. That's it. But in terms of the substantive performance of his office, no, not that I can think of now. So what the Chief Justice has to do is that it means that this serves as an impetus for him to perform far better than he himself has even thought about, or committed himself to do. Because you see, it's like you have to do so well that the opponents will be ashamed. Yeah, I'm going to perform so well to shame you. You know, like if you want to see the real meaning of what I'm saying, if you brought it into tree, then you see what I'm trying to say. Mayor Amawaferi, you know, I would do it so well that you'd be ashamed. Mayor Amawaferi, or other forms of putting it. So, yes, in terms of the optics, yes, it doesn't look good at all, because usually when the office holder gets a bipartisan approval, it helps our democracy. It makes our democracy looks good, because then it doesn't make the candidate look so partisan, so to speak. So that I remember when it came to Tokono like this, yeah, they had to go out and talk to NDC people. They even had to go and see JM, so that President Mahama at the time had to also tell them to go ahead, that's tell the parliamentarians to support Justice Tokonu's nomination, etc. So at the end of the day, yes, on record, it will show that NDC agreed. Okay, they supported her nomination and appointment, right? So if Baffoe-Bonnie had it, it would look good for the optics and psychologically. But as I've said, procedure is not the end of life. No, it's not the end. Let's go to the substance. So that's where you see, they will say substance over form. Yeah, so the form doesn't look good, but thankfully, Baffoe-Bonnie has the opportunity to perform so well in the substance that it can overshadow the form. Yes, because, you know, okay, so when NDC supported Tokonu's appointment, how many, 2.5 years down the line or so, yeah, now it's been withdrawn, she's been thrown out. So you see that the fact that you are even supported in coming to office is not, or it's no guarantee of anything. Yes, so let's focus on the substance. So Baffoe-Bonnie, I'm sure, will be focusing on the substance and knowing that he has to perform so well that the minority will regret for not supporting his nomination and appointment.
All right. Now, even though you don't agree with the minorities' walkout, if you could offer any advice, do they have any legal recourse to take because they are of their registered displeasure, in fact, rejection of the Chief Justice nominee, and the fact that the vetting still took place? Do they have any legal recourse? What can they do at this point?
Okay, so now going to the substance of their rejection, as from what I followed, they mentioned that there were pending suits. There were pending suits in the court, so they wish that the pending suits be resolved, that be determined. The courts should finish. When the courts are done, then the vetting can go on. So since that is the pith of their grievance, it means that they would have to go support the litigants in those cases. You know, there's a Vincent Asefua case, there's Chief Justice Tokonu herself, ex-Chief Justice, her own case. There's also the one by Kwabna Bonfe Kabila, right? Yeah, so then since they very much believe in the substance, the merits of those cases, then their recourse would be to go support, so that the Chief Justice would, well, it's not actually the Chief Justice, they should go support for the cases to be heard quickly, because you have to take steps, asking for the Chief Justice to empanel and the rest. The cases are at different stages. Different things have to be done. That's why I'm not putting the burden on the Chief Justice. Let's just say that they should take all the procedural steps that have to be taken so that the cases can be heard. And then once they believe in those cases, we'll see how it goes with the final decision of the court.
All right. Before we let you go, Martin Kpebu, you listened to the Chief Justice nominee and some of the suggestions or plans that he has for judicial reform, for the better running of the judiciary. What are your general comments on some of the suggestions he made? You know, using AI to empanel judges and the swift justice delivery system that he hopes to be able to bring to bear.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he was forward-looking, extremely forward-looking. It's good you've started with the AI. So, yes, I think it's good. The reason is I say it's good is that, I mean, years ago, the Americans adopted this AI in their various systems. They use it for bail, even in making decisions on bail. You go to court, and then the decision as to whether the accused will get bail or not is made by AI.
That's interesting. Exactly how does that work? I mean, this is a...
Yes. So let's say, okay, no, now doesn't want a bad example. So let's use X. So X has a certain profile, maybe 25 years old. It's in the case of murder, but X works for this and this company, well paid. He's not had any previous offense, those things. So the data, he has a wife and children, all those things, they are fed into the system, is the algorithm, that's the app. And so the app will look at everything and then come up with a decision that, yes, this one, grant him bail. This one, don't grant him. Yeah. So it's been pre-programmed. Okay. So if bail decisions, the AI is being used, and they've done it for some years now. It didn't start just last year or 3 years ago. No. If you Google it, you will see. We will be able to read a lot more of it. So it's been around for some time. So if Justice Baffoe-Bonnie, not that if, since he said that he wants, I mean, he agrees that we should use it in empaneling judges. Yes, let's try it, because we have to keep trying. We cannot keep saying that, oh, we are a developing country, so we don't have resources. No. Justice is very, very important. You see, justice helps to keep the society together, where people live in a society and they don't feel that they're getting justice in their courts and the rest. And with time, they will resort to anarchy. You see, earlier on, my colleague panelists referred to the Mo Ibrahim Index and the way trust in the judiciary has plummeted, etc. Right? So we need to do everything. And Justice Baffoe-Bonnie says he will be leading the charges to restore confidence. So AI is welcome. 24-hour court system is welcome. And did you hear him make a joke that the NDC took a leaf from the books of the judiciary when it comes to the 24-hour economy?
Because of the 16-hour courts.
And all that. So, I mean, it's exciting. It's exciting because he has 1 year to go. I'm sure he will be doing everything to make an impact. Yes, and we should support him. And as part of that, if I may, I still have about 10 minutes, unless, 20 or 30. So if you want to go
if you can stay with us, then we'll come back to you. I thought you had to go. That's why we stayed.
Yes, but we've made changes.
All right, so we'll come back to you. But we've been joined in the studio by Dr. Josiah Kobab, former lecturer with Gimba, private legal practitioner, one of our very esteemed panelists on our Tuesday edition of Big Issues. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Great to have you as always. Thank you for joining us. Also joining us in studio is